Have you ever stood in front of your fridge at midnight, reaching for ice cream, even though you promised yourself no sugar this week? Or maybe you hit the snooze button again, even though you swore last night you'd finally wake up at 6 a.m. and go for that run. You're not lazy, you're not weak, you're just human. And humans are weird. Today, we're rediving deep into the invisible forces that drive your everyday decisions. The psychology of why you do what you do. Not in theory, in practice. Because once you understand your mind, you can master your life. The pizza, the brain, and the unexpected truth. Let me tell you about David. David was a 34-year-old graphic designer living in Chicago. One Tuesday night, he was sitting on his couch scrolling through food delivery apps. He had groceries. He wasn't even that hungry. But somehow, within 8 minutes, there was a large pepperoni pizza on the way. Why? Later that week, David listened to a podcast about something called decision fatigue, and it hit him. That day, David had made 72 micro decisions, from emails to design choices to figuring out what socks matched his mood. By the time he got home, his brain was tired of making good choices. Pizza wasn't a craving, it was a shortcut. His brain was begging for relief. That's the moment David realized most of what I call bad habits are actually tired habits. What if you're not broken? What if the real issue isn't willpower, but understanding? In this video, we're going to break down why your brain takes mental shortcuts, aka cognitive biases, how your habits get formed and how to change them, and how to stop living on autopilot and start choosing your life. Have you ever arrived home and realized you don't even remember the drive? No memory of turning, stopping, or choosing a single thing. That wasn't magic. That was autopilot. Your brain has this incredible survival feature. It automates things to save energy. Walking, brushing your teeth, even responding to people. It's trying to help. But here's the catch. Autopilot doesn't know if the habit it's repeating is good for you or destructive. It just runs the code you've given it over and over again. The coffee mug. That changed Lisa's life. Lisa was a high school teacher. Every morning she followed the same script. Wake up, shower, coffee, drive. One morning in a rush, she grabbed the wrong coffee mug, one she never used. And suddenly everything felt off. She forgot her keys, missed a turn, and all day she was thinking, why do I feel so weird today? That night something clicked. She realized she'd been running the same morning loop for 6 years. Not because it was the best way, but because it was just the way it was. She started small. Each week she broke one tiny routine. A new mug, a different podcast. Taking the longer route to school just to see new houses. 6 months later, she was journaling, meditating, and had lost 10 pounds without making any giant promises to herself. All because she started interrupting the loop. What is a habit loop? Neuroscientists call it the habit loop. And it has 3 simple parts. Cue, the trigger. Your alarm, your boredom, your stress. Routine, the behavior. Scrolling your phone, eating junk, lashing out. Reward, the result. Comfort, escape, distraction. It's brilliant. Your brain loves shortcuts. But here's the trick. You can't just delete a habit. You have to replace it. Instead of removing the loop, you swap the routine but keep the reward. So the brain still gets what it wants, but in a healthier way. Want peace? Swap Instagram for a 3-minute breathing exercise. Want energy? Replace coffee number 3 with a quick walk outside. Tiny swaps, massive returns, a mini exercise. Pause and reflect. Take a moment. What's one loop you're stuck in? Is it the late night scrolling? That 3 p.m. sugar hit? The negative self-talk in the mirror? Now ask yourself, what cue starts this? What reward am I chasing? What new routine could give me that reward without the crash? You don't need a new life. You just need new patterns. Here's a weird thought. Your brain lies to you every single day. Not because it's evil, but because it's trying to protect you by cutting corners. These shortcuts are called cognitive biases, mental filters that affect how you see the world. They're fast, automatic, and most of the time, totally invisible. They affect how you judge people, handle stress, react to failure, see yourself. And the worst part, you don't even realize they're running the show. Jamal and the job offer, confirmation bias. Jamal just got a job offer at a huge company, more money, better hours. Big opportunity, but something didn't feel right. So he Googled why this company is toxic. And shocker, he found exactly what he was looking for. Angry reviews, bad stories, ex-employees complaining. He declined the offer. 2 months later, he bumped into a friend who took the job. Turns out the reviews were years old. The company had totally changed. And his friend? Thriving. That's confirmation bias in action. Your brain searches for proof of what you already believe and filters out everything else, even if what you believe is wrong. The biases that quietly control you. Let's expose a few more of these mental tricksters. Negativity, bias. You remember the one person who laughed at you, not the 10 who clapped. Your brain magnifies pain to keep you alert, but it can make life feel worse than it is. Sunk cost fallacy. I've already invested too much to quit. Whether it's a failing relationship, a boring major, or a dead-end job, you stay stuck not because it's right, but because you hate wasting effort. Spotlight effect. You spilled coffee on your shirt. You think the whole world noticed. Truth? Most people were too busy checking their own phones to even care. These biases are subtle, but powerful. The elevator panic, a spotlight effect. Emma walked into a crowded elevator. She tripped slightly, just a tiny stumble. Her face turned red. She thought, oh no, everyone saw that. They think I'm clumsy. I look stupid. She avoided that elevator the rest of the week. But guess what? No one remembered. Most people were just praying the elevator wouldn't get stuck. That's the spotlight effect. The belief that all eyes are on you when in reality, everyone's just thinking about themselves. Awareness is power. You can't fix what you don't see, but now you've seen the game. Your brain isn't broken. It's just running old software. And like any system, once you understand the bugs, you can start patching them. In the next part, we'll learn how to do that with real practical mental tools to upgrade your mindset. Let's go. The mind is a muscle. Train it like one. Think of your mind like a gym. Negative thoughts like mental junk food. Focus and awareness like core strength. And the best part, just like your body, your mind can grow stronger with reps, but not through willpower alone. You need the right mental tools. Simple practices that rewire the way you think. Let me show you a few. Tool number 1, name it to tame it. When you feel overwhelmed, anxious, angry, don't suppress it. Label it. Literally say, this is stress. This is fear. This is just my brain doing its thing. It sounds silly, but research shows that naming your emotion activates the prefrontal cortex, the rational part of the brain, and reduces the emotional chaos. In other words, name it and you regain control. Tool number 2, the 5-minute brain dump. Grab a notebook, set a timer, and just write whatever's on your mind for 5 minutes. No filter, no structure. Dump it all. Fears, regrets, random to-do lists. Why did I say that in 2016? Once it's out of your head and onto paper, your brain relaxes. You stop feeling like your thoughts are chasing you because now you are watching them from a distance. Tool number 3, box breathing, a Navy SEAL secret. Feeling panicked? Try this. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Breathe out for 4 seconds. Hold again for 4 seconds. Repeat 3 to 5 times. This technique is used by Navy SEALs in combat because it slows down your nervous system and brings you back to clarity. And the best part? You can do it anywhere, in traffic, before a job interview, or while arguing on the internet. Tool number 4, the reframe list. Every time you catch yourself saying something negative like, I always mess up, nothing ever works for me. Stop. Write it down. Then rewrite it into something more empowering but still real. I've struggled before, but I'm still learning. Some things haven't worked, but I'm not done trying. Over time, this builds a default voice that's more kind, balanced, and motivating. You're not faking positivity. You're retraining accuracy. Change happens, one thought at a time. You don't need to meditate on a mountain. You don't need to journal for hours. You just need tiny shifts repeated consistently. One breath, one word, one habit. And day by day, the storm in your mind starts to clear, ready to level up. In the next part, we dive into the science of self-image and how to become the kind of person you always wished you could be. Let's go deeper. Stop trying to change your life. Change who you think you are. Your identity controls your behavior. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. Let that sink in. If you see yourself as lazy, no productivity system will save you. If you believe you're not a reader, you'll never finish that book. If you identify as broken, no amount of motivation will make you feel whole. But here's the twist. Identity is not fixed. It's a story you tell yourself, and stories can be edited. The smoker who quit by changing one word. Two people are offered a cigarette. One says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." The other says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Huge difference. The first is someone who still sees themselves as a smoker. The second already lives the new identity. That one word, "I am," is powerful. The moment you shift from trying to change to "this is who I am now," your brain starts rewiring everything around it to stay consistent. That's identity-based change. The habit identity loop. Here's how it works. You do something once, it's an action. You do it twice, it becomes a habit. You do it 10 times, it becomes who you are. This works for both good and bad. Skip workouts. I'm just not disciplined. Show up every day, even for 5 minutes. I'm someone who moves daily. Every small win is a vote for the type of person you want to become. So ask yourself, what kind of person would I be proud to be? Then act like that person today, even just once, even just a little. The identity map. Take a piece of paper. Write this. I am the kind of person who. Now finish that sentence in a way that excites you. Not in a fantasy way, but in a way that feels doable. Examples. I am the kind of person who finishes what they start. I am the kind of person who chooses growth over comfort. I'm the kind of person who speaks kindly to themselves. I am the kind of person who moves for 10 minutes a day. Repeat it, look at it, live it, even in tiny moments. That's how identities shift. From words to habits to reality. You are the author now. You're not stuck with the story you were handed. You're the author, and every action you take is a new sentence, a new chapter. No, you won't be perfect. No, you won't feel motivated every day. But if you keep showing up as the person you want to be, soon it won't be just a vision, it'll be who you are. And in our final part, we'll talk about what really separates people who change their lives from those who just watch YouTube videos about it. Spoiler, it's not luck and it's not talent. And the real reason change sticks. This is what winners actually do differently. Everyone wants change. Few create it. Let's be real. Everyone says they want to change. To be happier, healthier, more confident, more fulfilled, but most people don't. Not because they're weak, but because they wait for motivation. And motivation is a terrible fuel. It burns bright and fades fast. What actually works? It's not sexy. It's not flashy. It's one word: consistency. The 1% rule. Why Maya changed her life with a timer. Maya was overwhelmed. She had anxiety, zero routines, and always felt behind. Every time she tried to change, she went all in and burned out. And then one day she tried something different. She set a 5-minute timer, just 5 minutes. 5 minutes to tidy her desk, 5 minutes to journal. 5 minutes to move her body. That's it. At first it felt like nothing, but 5 minutes turned into 10, then 15, then momentum. 6 months later, she wasn't perfect, but she was stable, calm, and proud. Small, consistent actions built trust with herself again. That's what real change is made of. The invisible breakthrough. Here's what most people don't realize. The biggest wins in life come after the point where most people quit. Not because it gets easier, but because you get stronger. Growth doesn't feel like fireworks. It feels like showing up on a day you didn't want to. It feels like saying no to the easy option just once. It's silent. It's invisible, but it adds up. Your brain is always watching. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one, it builds something deeper than motivation. It builds self-respect. Final message. Don't wait for a sign. Be the sign. There's no perfect moment to start. No magical energy coming tomorrow. No version of you that's suddenly fearless. There's just now. And the beautiful thing, now is enough. So pause this video. Take a breath. Choose one small thing to do today. Not because you have to, but because you're ready to write a new story. And if no one told you this today, you are not broken. You are becoming. Don't wait for the future. You start acting like them now.
If you enjoy this video, hit that like button, share it with friends, and subscribe for more.